Breaking news! A storm is brewing behind the scenes, and it could shake the very foundation of the Baltimore Ravens' defensive future. A name that once felt untouchable, a contract dispute spiraling out of control, and a cryptic social media message that has Ravens fans and the entire NFL wondering, is something big about to go down? The whispers are growing louder, the clues more pointed, and one insider just connected the dots in a way that has everyone talking. What if one of the league's most feared defenders suddenly became available, and the Ravens were ready to pounce? But before we move on, make sure you hit that like button if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you feel like it, comment, "Go Ravens," to show you're riding with us through the chaos. Let's get straight to it. Micah Parsons. That's right. The Dallas Cowboys' elite pass rusher, arguably one of the most dominant defensive players in the game today, is now somehow linked with the Baltimore Ravens. It all started when ESPN insider Jeremy Fowler went on national television and dropped a bombshell. Among the few teams he believes could show interest in Parsons, the Baltimore Ravens were name-dropped. And as expected, the Ravens' internet fandom went into a frenzy. Now, here's where things get complicated. According to reports, Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons had agreed on a deal earlier this year that would have made Parsons the highest-paid non-quarterback in the league. That's where David Mulugheta, Parsons' agent, enters the scene, and not quietly. The deal, reportedly made without Mulugheta's input, did not sit well. This is an agent who has made waves before, and he wasn't about to let a record-breaking contract go through without his fingerprints on it. His stance? Whatever was agreed to, throw it out. It's not enough. Parsons, at just 26 years old and with a streak of 12-plus sack seasons, is angling to reset the market. Mulugheta knows the more Parsons earns, the more he earns. Simple math. But that math? It's also why Baltimore might hit a financial wall here. And just when you thought things couldn't get any more theatrical, Parsons adds fuel to the fire with an Instagram story quoting Edgar Allan Poe. Sound familiar? That same cryptic social media behavior had Ravens fans speculating about Davante Adams last season. And now, here it is again, only this time, it feels more electric, more immediate. Could Parsons really be hinting at a move to the land of Poe? Look, fans are allowed to dream. And this would be one of the biggest splash trades in franchise history. Micah Parsons, lining up in purple and black, hunting quarterbacks next to Kyle Hamilton? That's the stuff of nightmares for opposing offenses. But even dream scenarios need to face reality. Here's the hard truth. It doesn't seem likely. Not because the Ravens aren't interested, they absolutely should be. But because the financial logistics are nearly impossible to make work. Let's break it down. The Ravens have a lot of mouths to feed. They're going to need to pay Isaiah Likely. Tyler Linderbaum is due. Kyle Hamilton is going to command top dollar. And of course, Lamar Jackson, his deal will need restructuring or extending. When you add all that up, you're already approaching an estimated $115 million annually on just 4 players. Now throw in Parsons and his projected $40 million per year demand. The math doesn't favor a Baltimore landing. And if that wasn't already a mountain to climb, there's Eric DeCosta. The Ravens GM is known across the league for being draft savvy and risk averse. He's not the type to push all the chips in for a headline-making move. He plays the long game. This is a franchise built on development, not desperation. Even last year's rare splash signing, Derrick Henry, was a calculated move within their financial comfort zone. Then there's the Cowboys. If you're Jerry Jones, you're not letting your defensive cornerstone walk without an astronomical return. Think Herschel Walker type deal, 5+ draft picks. And we all know DeCosta treats draft picks like gold. He's not throwing darts in the dark. He's trying to hit bullseyes with as many throws as possible. Trading that many picks would go against everything he's built his strategy on. So, do I think a call was made? Probably. You'd be crazy not to at least inquire. But a real deal? It just doesn't align with how the Ravens do business. Still, this is the NFL. Crazy things happen. And Parsons isn't just any player. He's a generational talent. If there's even a crack in the Cowboys' wall, you can bet teams will swarm. Would it take parting with a player like Odefoa or another defensive talent heading into a contract year to even begin the conversation? Maybe. But with so many moving parts, and the Cowboys' history of eventually ponying up big money, as they did with Zeke Elliott, Dak Prescott, and C.D. Lamb, this feels like another Dallas drama that ends in a payday, not a trade. Because here's the thing, while the financials are stacked against a move like this, and while history tells us Jerry Jones eventually opens the vault, the NFL isn't built on absolutes. It's built on leverage, timing, and sometimes, just pure chaos. Micah Parsons has cracked the door open. Whether he walks through it or not might depend less on cap space and more on control. Who has it? Who's losing it? and who's willing to seize it. From the outside, it's easy to believe this will resolve just like Zeke, Dak, or CD. The Cowboys cave late, pay big, and keep their core intact. But this feels different. This time, it isn't just about numbers. It's about pride, miscommunication, and public shots taken on national TV. Jerry Jones calling out David Mulugheta. Mulugheta firing right back, denying he ever told Jerry to shove his offer. These aren't just business negotiations. These are personal wounds being aired in real time. And when that happens, logic doesn't always win. And it's in that chaos that a team like the Ravens, quiet, patient, precise, can pounce. Let's say, hypothetically, that Parsons continues to push, that his camp continues to leak frustration, that he holds out, misses reps, and starts to affect Dallas preparation. What then? Do the Cowboys, who are on the edge of Super Bowl contention but haven't reached the mountaintop, really want this hanging over their heads in October or November? That's where Eric DeCosta could strike, not by offering 5 first-round picks, but by dangling something more tempting, ready-now talent. You think a team like Dallas wouldn't listen if the conversation started with Odefoa? Or even a breakout young piece like Justin Matterbaik? Imagine a package of proven players, a second-rounder, maybe a future first. That's still steep, yes, but it's less than a Herschel Walker ransom and more in line with the kind of compromise that brings two sides to the table. And as far-fetched as that sounds, remember, this is exactly how Baltimore operates. Let the market swirl, let the chaos build, and when the temperature is just right, make the call. It's not about being the loudest or most aggressive, it's about being the smartest. If the Cowboys blink, even for a second, the Ravens will be ready. That's also why fans are taking this more seriously than just internet smoke. The Ravens are no strangers to calculated boldness. Trading for Roquan Smith last season was another example. No one saw it coming, and then suddenly, Smith was suiting up in purple and transforming the heart of our defense. That's the DeCosta blueprint. Don't show your cards. Don't chase headlines. Wait for the right moment and strike when it matters. But let's not forget the human element. Players like Parsons don't just want money, they want respect. They want to feel valued. And when that respect isn't mutual, things can unravel quickly. Right now, it feels like Parsons and his camp are publicly daring Jerry Jones to prove that respect. And the longer that lingers, the more cracks begin to show. Meanwhile, inside the Ravens facility, it's business as usual. Preparation for the season continues, the focus is on week 1, and there's zero panic. But don't confuse that for disinterest. Behind closed doors, you can bet conversations are happening. No leaks, no Twitter bombs, just phones ringing and quiet inquiries being made. And here's a curveball. Could the Ravens use this moment to strengthen their own negotiating hand? Knowing they'll soon face tough decisions with Likely, Hamilton, and Linderbaum, maybe a bold move like this sends a message. Baltimore isn't just building, they're ready to win now. That kind of urgency could accelerate talks, shift priorities, and reset expectations within the locker room. So while a Parsons trade still feels improbable, it's no longer impossible. The moment he posted that quote, the narrative changed. He knew exactly what he was doing. And Ravens fans, you felt it. You saw that post and your heart skipped a beat. Because deep down, we all know what it would mean. Micah Parsons in Baltimore wouldn't just be a star joining a contender. It would be a seismic shift, a thunderclap across the AFC, a signal that the Ravens are done waiting, that the time is now, and maybe, just maybe, that's the message they're ready to send. If that moment comes, if the trade goes through, are you ready for it? Do you think this is the kind of gamble Baltimore needs to take to finally get over the hump? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're still watching, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay locked in. There's another video on the screen right now. Click it to stay up to date on all things Ravens. See you in the next one.